Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight we are at the USA International Speedway getting ready to kick off the season for the All-Pro Sim Racing League, the 2026 season. This is the Southeast Series where the drivers are going to take a tour all across tracks across the Southeast. Then there's a Northeast tour and a West/Midwest series before the 8-race playoff championship a little bit later on in the year. Here in the WD Broadcasting Network, we are only going to be covering the first and last race of each regional tour. And then all 8 playoff races going to be broadcasted right here on the WD Broadcasting Network. So hit that red subscribe button so you never miss when the All-Pro Sim Racing League goes green, as it's now going to be qualifying time. A couple of drivers making their way out on track. It looks like it may be open qualifying. Everybody lining up on pit road right there. Not sure they're going to go out, and I think they are. Looks like the first driver out on the racetrack going to be Braden Wares in the number 07 machine. And I'm not sure. I think he may have gotten the DQ there. I think they're going to wait on qualifying here. Not quite sure what the qualifying procedure is looking like right now. Couple drivers lined up on pit road. That is the number 09 of Michael Berner. Robert Barber right there as well. Michael Berner going to go out on track. We'll see if he gets a lap time in here. It's qualifying time through turns 3 and 4. You will come to the green flag. First lap is up and we are underway. Michael Berner, first lap. Down into turns 1 and 2, tries to hug that bottom lane. Through the second set of corners. Gonna come to the white flag here. Across the stripe that time, a 20.840. 20.84 with a 0. That's the time to beat. Actually, Kenny Troughton, I believe, won a 20.88. That may have been in a different group. But Berner, lap number 2, goes just a little bit quicker. But right there at a 20.84. Next car out on track, that's Robert Barber in the 83 machine. A little bit high in turns 1 and 2. We'll watch down the back straightaway. Barber in the 83, a little bit high once again. You can diamond these corners at USA, but ideally you want to keep the car tucked down to that yellow line. First lap time, about a 10th off. Get the lap times up on your screen. 20.971 first lap time for Barber. A lot of cars in the field tonight. The top 20 are going to lock in from qualifying. Barber's second lap time, a 20.971. And he will bring it pit side. Third quick on the charts of the cars that have taken time. Next car on the racetrack, Tyler Barnes in the 33 machine, making his way down into 1 and 2. Looking through the corner that time. Keeps it tucked down nicely through the center of the corner. .33 machine gets a good run up off that time. This will be a good lap. Comes across the stripe. And he will go to the top of the charts, a 20.817. Track temperature probably a little bit hotter because of that sunshine we're seeing right now, so expecting to see laps probably in the 6s or 7s. Second lap time there, a little bit slower. But Tyler Barnes goes to the top of the board. His next car on track, Brett Robinson in the 5 machine. He drives these late models in the real-life side of things, running with the former Jeg CRA All-Stars Tour, now the CRA Turn 1 Pro Series. But Robinson, no stranger to supers on iRacing. I've had the pleasure of running many races with Brett. Always a clean competitor, and he always has a lot of speed. We'll see what he can do here in qualifying. Wraps it around, turns 3 and 4, up off the corner. Comes to the white flag, and he will go to the top of the board, a 20.733. Almost an entire 10th quicker than Barnes in the 33. Robinson down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. A little sideways on the exit right there. Up off the corner. And he will keep that first lap time of a 20.733. Good lap for Brett Robinson. That'll put him to the top spot. Next driver out on the racetrack, Travis Ward in the 4 machine. Trying to make his qualifying effort here. Green flag. And the goal is to keep it down to that yellow line, just like that 4 Travis Ward is doing. Little bobble there on the exit. You want to keep the car planted on the exit of the corner. First lap time, a 20.9976 quick on the board. Little sideways out of the corner that time. And like I said, you just want to keep as much momentum up as you can. The straightaway is very long here, so you need to do everything you can to keep as little stress on the tires and keep your momentum up. Second lap time. Going to slow down. So Travis Ward going to go to the 6th spot on the board. Next driver out on track, the 141 of Austin Prey. Bright colored machine here in the season opener, down the back straightaway. A little bit low off the corner, but a lot of speed. We'll see what he can do. Down into turn number 3, slides up just a little bit. He'll come to the white flag. First lap time, a 21.001 for Austin Prey. Oh, and he slides up the racetrack there. That's going to lose some time, and he's going to really lose some time there off of 4. So he will have to deal with that 21.001, 7th quick. for the 141 of Austin Prey. He will pull that car to the bottom side. Now the next driver on track. Someone we've seen before here on the WD Broadcasting Network. He's ran in the Lead the Pack iRacing League a few times. This is Zach Coyer in that familiar number 13 machine. We'll see what Zach can do. Down the front straightaway. Does a good job of keeping that car close to that yellow line. And ooh, sideways. Good save, though. Gonna lose lap 1 here. We'll see if he can gather it up and get a good second lap here. White flag for Zach Coyer. 8th quick on the board. Gonna have to pick it up a lot here on lap number 2. A much better exit that time. See if Coyer can get up into the top 5. A little slide on the entry there. Gonna try to get the power down. Zach Coyer, P6, 20.987. Next driver out on the racetrack, the 61 machine. That is Steve Wright. Right, another driver that we've seen here before on the network. The 61 machine, a little bit high down into turn number 3. First lap time, a 21.149. Puts him 9th quick on the board. And second lap time for Wright, a 21.131. Going to go a little bit quicker, but still in that 9th position. Next driver on the racetrack, the 98 machine. String bean, that's Peyton Hamlet in the 98 machine. Down into 1 and 2. Does a good job keeping it down on the line. A good run through turns 3 and 4. You got to get the power down out of 4, and that's the hard part about qualifying here. Up into the top 5, he will go in the 5th spot. Second lap time, a 20.862. Picks it up 1 position. He'll go to the 4th spot. Good lap from Peyton Hamlet there. Next driver to make his way out on track, that's Cooper Ward in the number 469 machine this evening. It's a good run up off of turn number 4. Part of the good qualifying run is getting a good run up to the line. You see drivers often going way up to the top, trying to get a good straight run up off the corner. As Cooper Ward makes his way through turns 3 and 4. First time around. Ward, 10th quick, a 21.010. Knocks Steve Wright outside of the top 10. Second lap time a little bit better, a 20.950 for Cooper Ward. Ward improves to the 6th spot. So a little bit better run on lap number 2. Next driver out on track, the 67 machine. That is Ben Ryan. Ryan looking for a good run here in qualifying. Drives hard down into 1 and 2, shoots up a little bit, but tries to drive out of it there. We had to get out of the gas. You heard him lift right there out of 2. Gonna try it again on lap number 2 here. You see that big run up from the top that I was talking about. Down into 1 again. A big shove in the nose through the center of 1 and 2. He gets up off the corner all right. Final time around for Ben Ryan. Checkered flag across the line, and he's going to go to the 4th spot at 20.843. So managed to save the run there. And Ben Ryan up to the 4th position. Next driver out on track. Another driver that is familiar with the real-life side of late model racing. Cole Williams, a veteran in pro late model racing, especially around the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway area. If you're around that area, you likely recognize that 46 machine here tonight. Through turns 3 and 4, white flag for Cole Williams. First lap time put him 7th quick at 20.896. Going a little sideways that time out of turn 2. Tough for a couple of these drivers to get the car rotated down into turns 3 and 4, and that's going to be something they're going to have to watch later on in tonight's race. You don't want to overheat the right front tire. We have had 13 cars qualify so far. Next driver out, that is Cameron Powell in the 26 machine. Little push through turns 1 and 2. Trying to get a better run through 3 and 4. A little off that yellow line, but a good run off the corner that time. First time around for Cameron Powell, 13th quick, a 21.065. We'll see if he can improve here on lap number 2. And there are still a lot of cars left to go. We've got about 6 drivers left before we start knocking them out. Remember, your top 20 lock in. Is now a driver that we saw a lot this season in the Winter Challenge Series. This is Eddie Dabrowski in the 29 machine. Good looking race car here down into turns 3 and 4. Goes a little wide down into the corner, but we'll see what kind of a run he's able to get to the line. 14th quick, a 21.083. They go down the back straightaway. Dabrowski across the line. Picks it up a little bit up to the 11th spot. 20.992. Another driver in real life late model racing here. We've got quite a few here in tonight's field. Run late models on the real life side of thing. And that's just the ones that I know. There could be more that I'm missing. Right here is Trey Craig in the 155 this evening. That familiar 15 machine on your screen. 12th quick. .992, dead even with Eddie Dabrowski's second lap time. We'll see if Craig can pick it up. Second time around, shuts it off across the line. He'll jump up into the top 10, 7th quick on lap number 2 at 20.889. As you look throughout the top 10, a lot of drivers right there at that 20.8 mark. I think if you're one of the drivers outside of the 20.8s, you may be a little bit concerned to begin with, as we've got double calamity in turns 3 and 4. Aaron Hicks drove that car down into the wall, and he's going to go green with his qualifying run here. Aaron Hicks down the back straightaway. He does have a little bit of nose damage, but he's going to try to qualify his way into the show. First lap time, a 21.518. You can definitely tell some of the damage on the rear of that race car may be affecting his turn. You can see he's got a lot of wheel in that car to get it rotated. Drives up off the corner. Can he improve on lap number 2? 21.339. He does not. Aaron Hicks, P17 after his qualifying run. Gonna have to try to transfer through the last chance qualifier. And earlier on, we saw Travis Wright. Now here is Steve Wright. Or sorry, I had that backwards. We saw Steve Wright earlier. Now Travis Wright on the racetrack in the number 10 machine. Down the back straightaway, trying to get a good run into 3. Got a lot of speed going into the corner here. Pushes up just a little bit. We've seen a lot of guys diamonding turns 3 and 4 as opposed to wrapping that line. Travis goes 9th quick on lap number 1 at 20.940. Second lap time as he comes across the stripe. Gonna slow down just a little bit. He will fall back to the 9th position. Or stay in that 9th position, I should say. Next driver out on track in a Coors Light machine. That is the 01 of Ed Papineau. Green flag down into 1 and 2. We'll go on board with the 01. And you can see he too struggling a little bit to get that card rotated down in the corner. A little better through turns 3 and 4. He'll come across the stripe. 17th quick, a 21.080. Trying to pick up some speed here on lap 2. He comes out of 4, across the stripe that time. Second lap for Papineau. Going to slow down, and he will stay in that 17th spot. Next driver to make his way out onto the racetrack, that is Scott Formosa in the 80 machine. Down into turns 1 and 2. Slides up the racetrack. Didn't quite get it cut back down to the bottom. As he comes out of turns 3 and 4. First lap time, 18th quick, a 21.094. It's looking like if you're wanting to be in tonight's field, you're going to have to be in the 22nd bracket. Formosa trying to pick it up out of 4. He finds a little speed. He jumps up 1 position. But a 21.061, we'll see if it's enough. A lot of cars left to go. Next driver on the Speedway, that is Kenny Storkson, number 57 car. Gets a good run up off of turn number 4, and he'll have a good run into turn number 1. Keeps that car low to the yellow line through turns 1 and 2. Who slides up a little bit there in turns 3 and 4. See what the 57 can do as he crosses the stripe. White flag that time. 20th quick, a 21.161. And now we are officially going to start knocking cars out of this field. The first one out, Aaron Hicks in the 9 machine. We'll see if Kenny Storkson can give himself some cushion here on lap 2. Picks it up a little bit, a 21.061, the exact same lap that we just saw Scott Formosa do. But 18th for the 57. Next driver out on the Speedway. The Rocket Fabrication and Suspension, number 16. That is Raymond Haynes. Raymond in the 16, down into 1 and 2, slides up just a little bit. It'll try to cut that car back to the bottom. Into 3 and 4, wraps that yellow line. And he will come to the white flag, second time around. We'll see what he can do on lap number 1. 14th quick, a 20.994. Going to try to get a little bit more out of lap number 2, down into turn number 3. For the 16, got really low to the yellow line right there. We'll see what he can do. Checkered flag. Second lap time into the top 10 for the 16, a 20.917. And Raymond Haynes in the 16 machine goes P9 on lap number 2. Another Winter Challenge Series competitor on the Speedway. This is Scott Kingswan in the 55. Gonna have to be a 21.080 to make it into the show right now. Do what the 55 can do. They make their way down into turns 3 and 4. King Swan first lap time, 22nd, a 21.14. Gonna try to get a little bit more on lap 2 here. Kind of slid the nose through turns 3 and 4. Second time around. Scott Kingswan up to the 21st spot, but not going to be enough to put it in the show here tonight. He'll have to try and transfer in through the last chance race a little bit later on. Next driver out on track, the 17 machine. The camel car here tonight, that's Corey Rogers. Roger's one of the drivers that runs the super late models on iRacing quite often. See what he can do. Lap number 1. First lap time, 10th quick, 20.925. That will put him in the show. As of right now, we still have quite a few cars left to qualify. We'll see if he can get himself some more cushion. Second time around, a 20.908. That'll move him up 1 spot into the 9th spot. We've got almost 20 cars still left to qualify. Nobody except maybe your top 5 safe right now. As Austin Carter, a little sideways down into turns 1 and 2. Gonna try and reset here and get a better lap his second time around. Lap number 1, 25th quick. Obviously, we saw the slide into turns 1 and 2. We'll see what Carter can do. The number 2. About a 4 across the stripe that time. Into the top 10, 8th quick. 20.895, another car into the 20.8s. And now it would take 20.8 to get into the top 10. The field very close if you look at the whole left side of your screen. Only driver that really has a big advantage is that number 5 of Brett Robinson. But let's see what this driver can do. Ryman Castle, the number 87 machine. No stranger to super late model racing on iRacing. I've been running with Ryman for quite some time in the super late models. He knows how to get the job done. We'll see what he can do through turns 3 and 4. First time around for the 87. 13th quick, 20.949 for the 87 machine. Gonna try to improve on lap number 2 here to give himself some cushion. Up and out of 4 across the stripe that time. And second lap around does not improve. It was just a little bit slower, but he will take that 13th spot. As of right now, he is in the show. We'll see if he can hold it there. Now we have his buddy, Dylan Hale, in the 24. Going to try to punch his ticket into tonight's 125 lap main event. Through turns 1 and 2, gets a good run. A little bit off of that yellow line, but did a good job of keeping the momentum up. Pushes wide a little bit more in turns 3 and 4. Can he get the power down? Across the stripe that time, first time around. The 21.002. He's just barely into the show. Can he get a little bit more on lap number 2? Checkered flag. Jumps up 1 spot into the 22nd bracket. But a 20.999 puts him 19th quick. And now the next driver on the racetrack. This guy gonna go race at 5 Flags this weekend with the ASA Stars National Tour. But first gonna try to get a victory here tonight at USA. This is Derek Kraus. Kraus in the 9 machine. Recently crowned the Winter Challenge Series champion. He's going to try it again on lap number 2 here. He does have some right front damage, but we'll see if the 9 can find the speed that he needs. Keeps it pinned to the bottom of the racetrack. Down the back straightaway here. And the 9 of Kraus across the stripe that time. 13th quick. 20.940. Kraus, a little bit of a mistake there in qualifying. We'll see if he can transfer through. Currently 13th. Still quite a few cars left to go. Next driver out, Patrick Allen in the 99. Allen way up the track in 1 and 2, a little sideways off of 2. These drivers trying to get everything they can here in qualifying, and you can see by the way that they're driving. Everybody aggressive on corner entry, and ooh, on corner exit too there. As you saw, the 99 of Patrick Allen scrape the wall. That will invalidate his lap time on lap number 1. We'll see if he can get anything on lap 2. But all kinds of sideways down the back straightaway here. Not a good run from the 99 of Patrick Allen. Second time around, E29, a 21.57. Not the run Allen was looking for there in the 99. Now let's see what Nick Rogers has. The 8 machine Budweiser car here tonight. We'll see what he can do. Up and out of 4. Does a good job getting the car rotated. Kind of missed the bottom there, but he got the car rotated. Didn't do the big shove up the racetrack that we've seen a couple of these other competitors do. And that's where you're going to gain speed, keeping that car hooked down to the bottom. Is Rogers' first lap time, 21 flat. 21st quick on the board. Going to try to gain on lap number 2 here. Just needs a little bit more to make his way into the show. And second time around, P12 for Nick Rogers. That will bump Dylan Hale into the last chance qualifier. And now Travis Ward is the driver on the bubble, as Max Handley makes his way onto the racetrack into turn number 3. Handley got a good run off of 2, kept it low to the bottom that time. Down into 3. He's keeping it tight down on the yellow line. First time around, 28th quick. For the 49 machine, a 21.12. Second time around for Max Handley, comes across the stripe. Gonna try to improve. He bumps up to the 23rd spot, but a 21 flat, not gonna be enough to make it into tonight's A feature on time. Next driver out on the racetrack, this is Jeff Dillon in the 52 machine. We've seen him in the lead of the pack Street Stock Showdown, but it's been a long time. But welcome back, Jeff Dillon, to the WD Broadcasting Network. Takes the green down into turn number 1. Good run. Keeps it tucked down to the bottom. Gonna try to drive that car hard down into 3. Maybe went a little bit early. I think he dip the left sides down onto the apron there, but he's going to try to get a good run out of 4. First lap time for Dylan, 21.08, 28th quick. Going to have to improve a lot here on lap number 2 if he wants to make his way into the show. A little bit better through 3 and 4 that time. We'll see what the 52 can do. Second time around, he jumps up to 25th, but not going to be enough. We will see him in the last chance qualifier. Next driver out, this is Alexander Pelican. The 25, he'll be scored on your tower as a 31. But down into 1 and 2. A little bit high up the racetrack that time. Through 1 and 2, we'll see what he can do in 3 and 4. Pelican trying to keep that car rolled down on the bottom. He does a good job in 3 and 4. Across the stripe, first lap time, 29th quick, 21.10. We've seen these drivers later in qualifying get better laps on lap number 2. We'll see if he can improve. Gonna have to pick up quite a bit here, make his way into the show. And 28th quick on lap number 2. Next up, this is the 95 of Brandon Torres. Torres gets a green flag. Time to beat now, a 20.997. Travis Ward has stayed on the bubble for quite some time now. Trying to keep that car in the show. We'll see what Torres can do. Gets the white flag. And he's in the show for now. 20.971. Going to try to get some insurance here on lap 2. Gets a lot of throttle pedal off for 4 right there. He had to lift a little bit. Comes across the stripe. And looks like he will gain, or he will stay in that 17th spot. 20.963, the lap time from Brandon Torres. This is the 07 of Easton Reidner. Next driver out. Now the time to be a 20.992. I think if you want to be safe, you want to hit a 20.90 or a 20.8. 20.8 would probably guarantee your spot. First lap time for Reidner, 20.03, or 21.03, I should say. And I think going to try to get a better run right there. But this is lap number 3. Not sure what they're going to have to say about this. And he'll shut it down. Easton Reidner not going to make it on time. And have to fight his way through the last chance qualifier. Ryan Conover in the 97. He gets a good run down into 3, kind of slid the nose a little bit. But he'll point it down for the exit. Straight run across the line. First lap time Put him 15th quick, 20.95. That knocks Eddie Dabrowski out of the show and moves Zach Coyer to the bubble in the 13. Second lap time for Conover. Trying to get some insurance there, and he does, a 20.888. He'll jump up to the 7th spot. Good run in qualifying that time from the 97. And that should lock him into the show. Question is, can anybody beat Brett Robinson? 5 machine is, trouble for Kristen Jansen. Down into turn number 3. He's going to have some right front damage here in qualifying. We'll see if it affects the lap time. Through turns 1 and 2. Didn't look like the car was wanting to rotate very well. He'll try it again on lap 2, get a better run through turns 3 and 4. 37 cars now have qualified. We'll see what Christian Jansen can do. On lap 2, down into 3 and 4, rolls the bottom side of the racetrack. He's got to beat a 20.987. Checkered flag. He'll jump up to the 11th spot, 20.904. That'll put him in the show. And that will knock Zach Coyer out. Rob Barber now on the bubble, 20.971. And just a handful of competitors left to go. Eric White, the next driver out. Another real-life super late model driver. White through 1 and 2, gets a little sideways off a 2. Have to have a big 3 and 4 here. We'll see what he can do. 20.97. What he's got to beat. First lap time for Eric White. He's into the show. 5th quick, a 20.847. See if he can go faster on lap 2. White, second time around, P2. 20.811, a good lap time there from Eric White. The closest driver we've seen to Brett Robinson. We'll see if anybody's able to top his lap time. He set that one a while back. He was one of the first cars to go in qualifying, and man, as that lap stood. Anthony Danta, the next driver on track. He heads down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Gonna have to roll that car low on the bottom. I think he got a little bit loose up off the corner that time. Maybe not. 20.685. Quick time for the number 51 of Anthony Danta. Knocks Brett Robinson off of the top spot. Gonna try to pick it up on lap number 2 here. Doesn't entirely need to. But a 20.685 from Anthony Danta. And that is quick time as of right now. Only a few drivers left to go. And Danta with a heater there. First car into the 6s. And let's see what Deegan Smith can do here in the 15. Good looking race car there down into turn number 1. Trying to hold that car down as low as he can. Good run through 3 and 4 here. Let's see what he's got across the stripe. First lap time, third quick. A 20.745. 20.74 for Deegan Smith. A little bit sideways out of turn number 2 that time. I don't think he's going to be able to go any faster on this second lap as he's a little bit wide out of 4. But third quick for Deegan Smith. That puts Ryman Castle on the bubble in the number 87 machine. Next driver on the racetrack, this is Preston Boers. Boers, one of the helping hands, one of the main helping hands in helping the All-Pro Racing League go round. And one of the guys responsible for me being up in the booth here tonight, so shout out to Preston. We'll see what he can do on lap number 1 as he comes across the line. Second quick. A 20.725. 20.72 with a 5 for Preston Boers lap 1. He's got to pick up about half a tenth to get Anthony Danta's pole time. We'll see what he can do here out of 4. Second time around into the 6s. A 20.699. Good lap there from Boers on lap 2. And these final couple cars really picking it up. As we've got a last call here for qualifying. 41 cars have taken time. Only 2 drivers have yet to take a time. That's Josh Hamilton and Jordan Riddick. Waiting for those drivers to potentially take a time, but I don't know if they're going to. It looks like that is going to do it for qualifying. We're going to take a quick step away after qualifying here as Anthony Danta is your fast qualifier for tonight's season opener, USA 125, here for the All-Pro Sim Racing League. We'll be right back here on the WD Broadcasting Network with coverage of tonight's main event in just a bit. Alrighty, folks, we're back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Going to get ready for tonight's last chance qualifier. Your top 4 going to make it into tonight's feature race. We'll look at tonight's starting lineup for the last chance qualifier. On the pole, it's going to be Ryman Castle, the first car out in the 87 machine. Cooper Ward to his outside in the 469. Starting in row number 2 on the inside is Brandon Torres in the 95 machine. To his outside, it's going to be Robert Barber in at the number 83. Zach Coyer in the 13. Going to start in the 5th spot with Eddie Dabrowski in the 029 to his outside. Travis Ward in the 7 going to start in the 4 going to start in the 7th position. He'll have Dylan Hale to his outside in the 24. Starting 9th is going to be the 141 of Austin Prey with Max Hanley to his outside in the 49. Row number 6 on the inside will be Cameron Powell. His outside in the 070 is Easton Reidner in the 12th spot. Starting 13th, it's going to be Jeff Dillon. To his outside, Scott Formosa in the 80. The 57 of Kenny Storkson going to start in the 15th spot with Alexander Pelican to his outside in the 31. Ed Papineau in the 01 will start 17th. Got King Swan 18th. Steve Wright 19th. Aaron Hicks going to start from the 20th spot, and Patrick Allen going to round out our field for the last chance qualifier. Remember, your top 4 going to advance, and we've got trouble on the start. Cars around, carnage there, a couple in the wall, and the yellow flag going to fly immediately there. A couple cars torn up on the front straightaway. Kenny Storkson in the 57. I did not see who initially went around. Let's watch that initial green flag one more time. I believe it was the 57. Oh no, it was up in front of him. Zach Coyer in the 13. And then that's the 141 of Austin Prey. We'll go on board with Zach Coyer there and see what he saw. Looks like got a shot in the bumper right there, and then cars spinning up in front of him. On board, this is the 4 of Travis Ward. He's the one that initially made contact. You see he went right around as that happened. But chaos coming to the green. And Ryman Castle going to assume the lead. The last chance qualifier, only 15 laps. Caution laps do count, so these drivers are going to have to try and make up time quickly. We're going to see a lot of aggression on these restarts. Just like we saw right there. Field this time, I believe, going to get the 1 to go signal. And then we'll be going green flag racing next time around with just about 10 laps to go. Ryman Castle going to choose the inside lane. He's got Cooper Ward to his outside. We'll see who can get the jump here. Hard to start from that outside lane at USA because the corner is so long. You don't really have an advantage to be able to hold them down if you're that car in the outside lane. And Ryman Castle going to go nice and early that time. And we are back racing. Green flag back out. 87 machine leads down into turn number 1. Brandon Torres and Cooper Ward battle for the second spot down the back straightaway. And caution flag flies. Kenny Storkson in the 57 around again in turn number 3. That happened down in turns 1 and 2 behind the pack. Let's watch what happened here. This is the start. You can see the 57 machine. Oh, it looked like the 61 just got in hot. Do not know what happened to Steve right there. But up into the corner. We'll go on board with Steve Wright and see what he saw. Yeah, just looked like got a little bit too much going into the corner and shot straight up the track. Storkson just an innocent bystander there. And now both of those cars down pit road. As I think something a little bit off with the lineup here. The race leader, Ryman Castle, currently scored in the 11th spot. Race control trying to get the lineup all sorted out here. I think a lot of cars trapped behind the pace car. And that's really thrown the lineup off. Caution out for the second time here in the last chance qualifier. I actually think I may have lied. I don't think caution laps do count here. So none of these drivers really a lap down. Looks like they're getting the lineup all sorted out somewhat here. And I think Castle maybe in the 87 machine may be getting sent to the rear. Not sure what the deal is up at the front. And there we go. Castle gonna assume his position back up at the front of the field. Looks like the lineup is right now, so we should be sending them back green. Next time by, the lights will go off on the iRacing.com pace car. Or should go off. Race control, still not quite happy with the lineup. I think we should be all good this time around. As everybody passes around that time. Looks like we're all good to go. Light's still on the iRacing.com pace car, though. And there we go. Lights off in the iRacing.com pace car. We are ready to go back racing. Ryman Castle, Preston Boers, or sorry, Cooper Ward, rather, your top two. We'll see who gets the jump here. Pace car going to pull off in turns 3 and 4. Good jump from Ryman Castle in the 87. A little bit sideways was the 95 of Brandon Torres. And he spun to the bottom. It looks like the green going to stay out after that one. No caution flag. Tough break for Brandon Torres. And now through turns 3 and 4, a couple cars sideways there. Look at Jeff Dillon way up on the outside lane, 3 wide on the top. And big time contact down into turn number 1. Carnage. The 26 of Cameron Powell went around right there. And you could see that one coming. That one was just waiting to happen there. Let's see what happened. This is a little bit further back from them. You see the 26 shot up the racetrack after contact from Scott Kingswan. Go onboard with Cameron Powell here. Try to. Here's what he saw. You can see he was sideways all the way down the front stretch. Then down into the corner, more contact. And you can see the front end of that car broken on impact. So that is going to be all she wrote for his night. Tough break. Another caution flag here in this last chance qualifier. We do have a 15-minute time limit, which I do think we are actually going to get to before we get to the 15-lap mark. So these guys actually racing to the time limit, I believe. As we are only 5 laps into this one. We'll go back green this time by Ryman Castle, Cooper Ward, Zach Hoyer back up to the front. After that trouble early on, got shuffled down to the grass. 13 machine back up into a transfer spot. Now let's see what happens through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is back off. Ryman Castle into the gas nice and early. We're back underway. Good launch from Castle in the 87. He's clear down into turn number 1. Zach Coyer going to battle with Max Hanley for the 3rd spot. We head down into turns 3 and 4. Castle leads. Cooper Ward 2nd. Hanley looks to the inside for 3rd, but Coyer's going to shut the door. Ryman Castle in the 87 machine. Halfway into this one, 7 laps in. 49 rather, of Max Hanley trying to get a little bit of insurance here. Getting around Zach Coyer. Coyer tried to get down behind him into that transfer spot, but now going to have to battle with Dabrowski as there's contact there. White flag is out. Final time around. Jeff Dillon around in turn number 1. Battle for that final transfer spot is going to go to Eddie Dabrowski as he snuck one there away from Zach Coyer. As Ryman Castle comes out of turn number 4, he'll win the last chance race. Also transferring is going to be Cooper Ward, Max Hanley, and Eddie Dabrowski. We're finally done with the last chance qualifier. They're ready to go racing in tonight's main event, the USA 125. Ryman Castle, your last chance qualifier race winner there. We're going to have a final warm-up. The invert going to be an 8 from qualifying. Let's look at the qualifying results one more time and kind of get a better idea of what we'll be looking at heading into this race. Here are your top 20 that transferred in on time that we have not seen on track racing just yet. Derek Kraus, the final car to transfer. He made a couple mistakes in qualifying and just barely made his way into the show on time. But it's going to be fun watching that. He scored as the 38, but at 9 machine, work his way through the field. He's got a lot of speed in these super late models on iRacing. Your top 5 all so close on time, within 1/10 of a second, just about. The invert going to be an 8. That's going to put the 67 of Ben Ryan on the pole. Michael Berner 2nd. Tyler Barnes going to start 3rd. Look at the entire starting lineup here in just a moment. Here is the track they're racing at tonight, USA International Speedway. Unfortunately not around in real life anymore. Shut down in the late 2000s, I do believe. But you can see bottom right, or I guess bottom center, track temperature here tonight. 122 degrees. These guys are going to have to keep the tires cool. Going to be very easy to get them hot, not be able to pass. Tricky to pass here at USA. You have to have a lot of grip on the bottom lane because you are able to roll that outside lane and fend somebody off from the second groove. We've got 125 laps of action coming up here shortly. We're going to be back in just one moment. We're going to take one final step away before we kick things off for tonight's USA 125. We'll be back in just one moment here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Alrighty, folks. We're back here on the WD Broadcasting Network, ready to get things kicked off for tonight's feature event. We've got 125 laps on tap here tonight. And 24 cars going to bring this field to green. This is going to be a long race. They don't have a set of tires in the pits either. So 125 laps that they have to make the tires last, which is a hard thing to do, especially here at USA. And you saw the track temperature before we cut away. It's going to be hard to keep those tires on at all 125 laps. Drivers meeting taking place right now. We'll meet our starting lineup here for tonight's USA 125, the season opener for the All-Pro Sim Racing Series. Get the starting lineup on screen. Ben Ryan, your eighth place qualifier. Had to think of what the invert was. 8th place qualifier here tonight, going to be starting from the pole. Michael Berner going to be starting from the second spot in the 09 machine. The 33 of Tyler Barnes going to roll off from the third spot. He'll have Eric White to his outside in the 6 machine. Egan Smith in the 15 going to start from the 5th position, with Brett Robinson in the 5 starting 6 to his outside. Preston Boers in the 29 going to roll off from the 7th spot here tonight. Your fast qualifier, Anthony Danta, an impressive lap time in qualifying. He'll start from the 8th spot here tonight. Watch out for that 51 machine. Peyton Hamlet, the string bean, in the 98 car, going to start from the 9th position. He'll have Kenny Troughton to his outside in the 25. Brian Conover in the 97, going to start from the 11th spot, with Trey Craig in the 155 starting 12th to his outside. Back behind him in row number 7 on the bottom, it's going to be Austin Carter in the number 2, with Cole Williams in the 46 to his outside. Then in row number 8, Christian Jansen in the 11, going to start 15th. Corey Rogers in the 17, going to start in the 16th spot. Raymond Haynes in the 16 car, going to start in the 17th spot. And then Nick Rogers going to start in the 18th position to his outside. Last row of qualifying transfers, this is going to be Travis Wright in the 10 machine on the inside, his outside. Winter Challenge Series champ Derek Kraus going to start from the 20th position here tonight. Watch out for the 9 all night long. Ryman Castle, winner of the Last Chance qualifier, going to start from the 21st spot here tonight, and he will have Cooper Ward is outside, Max Hanley and Eddie Dabrowski going to round out our field. And let's actually grab a word from our Last Chance qualifier winner, Ryman Castle. We'll see if we can't grab him up in the broadcast booth. Up into the broadcast booth, Ryman Castle, winner of the chaotic Last Chance qualifier here tonight. Made your way into the show, escaped that final race. What is it going to take here tonight to, first off, survive all 125 laps, but then be there at the end?
Hopefully keeping the nose on it for sure. These guys are, it's kind of crazy. The track sucks. The track temp sucks. The setup sucks. But hey, everybody's on the same stuff, so it is what it is. Everybody's trying their best. I mean, it's kind of a first night jitters. Everybody kind of doesn't really know what to do, and Preston's kind of not struggling, but he's stressed out, I could tell. I mean, it sucks trying to get everything in line. So he's doing the best he can. It's only going to get better from here, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's always tough to get those night one jitters off of your chest and get everybody comfortable, and especially getting everybody comfortable racing around one another. It's always tough to get acquainted with new drivers and learn new racing styles and stuff like that. But one set of tires here tonight, is that going to be the key to tonight's race, keeping the tires on it and having something to work with at the end?
Yeah, you definitely got the save here for sure. The track gets really tight. Yeah, saving tires, big thing, and just keeping damage to a minimum, because it's going to get rough, I'm sure. As you can see the Last Chance race, I don't think we had a lap without someone getting destroyed. So lap being in the front was definitely the key of that. So hopefully we can get the qualifying thing situated, because it really sucked being, being mid-pack in the practice lineup, and then going out in the qualifying time. The track temp was super hot, and it just kind of puts you at a downfall there. I thought I had 2 really good laps and looked at the score sheet, and it was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, sometimes qualifying bad can put you off on the wrong foot for the entire night. Luckily, you were able to make your way through the Last Chance race, and you guys are getting ready to go green here, so I'll let you get back to it, let you lock in, but good luck to you. Hopefully, we can talk to you later after 125 laps.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, that was Ryman Castle, driver of the number 87 machine here tonight, and we are ready to go racing in just a couple laps. Ben Ryan, Michael Berner, going to bring this field to the green. We're going to give these guys a couple extra laps to get some heat in the tires, get everything rolling. If you guys haven't already, hit that red subscribe button for more iRacing action just like this. We're getting ready to send them green for 125 laps, no sets of tires in the pits. They're going to have to save them all race long. We'll see who's going to have the car to beat at the end. A lot of speed up in the front of this pack. We are about to send them loose for 125 laps. And the field is down into turns 3 and 4. The pace car is off. And for the first time this season, the All-Pro Sim Racing League, we are green flagged racing here at USA. Down into turns 1 and 2. Your leader, Ben Ryan, on the inside lane, trying to take the top spot early, but drag race down the back straightaway. Ryan going to peek out. He'll take the advantage through turns 1 and 2. And Ben Ryan going to come around to lead lap number 1. Tyler Barnes falls into the second spot. They're almost 3 wide back behind him. That was Derek Kraus and the 9 machine looking on the bottom, trying to move ahead early. Remember, he started deep in this one, started in the 20th spot, up to 14th on lap number 2 already. Making moves early is that 9 machine. A little bit further up for the second spot, that's Deegan Smith on the inside of Tyler Barnes. Barnes a little wiggle out of turn number 2, but still able to keep the power down. Smith going to try to pull alongside. He's able to use that inside lane and get the run up off the corner move. Deegan Smith up into the second position. And ooh, contact back behind. That's Cole Williams around. And everybody piling up there. Derek Kraus involved in the 9 machine. That's the 97 of Brian Conover. Ryman Castle was slow right there in the 87 as well. But the 46 of Cole Williams went around right in front of the field, middle of the straightaway. And a lot of drivers got a piece of that one. A hard crash for them to miss. Let's see what happened. This is the 46 coming up off of 4. Oh, and I think there was just contact between him and the 09 machine of Michael Berner. You can see a couple drivers slowing to avoid. Ryman Castle did a good job there in the 87 machine, avoiding that one. We'll watch on board. You can see the 9 didn't really have anywhere to go. Piled right into that. Try and go on board with Ryman Castle for that one. This is out of 4. And you can see the smoke grabbed a little piece of the back bumper of it. I think that was Cooper Ward. Maybe a little bit of damage on the front bumper, but other than that, I think the 87 machine is going to be all good. Couple cars coming down pit road early to get some damage fixed, but Ben Ryan jumps out to the early lead. Deegan Smith in the second spot. Preston Moore's third. Tyler Barnes fourth. Eric White in the 5th spot. Field going to get the 1 to go signal this time by, I do believe. USA, one of the tracks with a little bit longer pace laps than some of the other short tracks on the sim. This track, 3/4 of a mile in length. So a longer short track. It still feels like a short track when you're under green, but man, when you are under caution, it does not. Caution laps here feel like an eternity, just about. But they are doubled back up here, ready to send them back green. Deegan Smith on that outside lane. Started in the 5th spot, up to 2nd early on. We'll see what he can do. As the field goes down through turns 3 and 4, pace car is back off. Ben Ryan going to bring the field through the restart zone. And the green flag is back out. We're back underway. Good launch from Deegan Smith on the outside lane. Watch the 15 down the back straightaway. Going to try to drag race him into turn number 3. 15 is Smith. Peeks out ahead. Deegan Smith up off of turn number 4. Going to try to lead the lap there, and I think he will that time around. Your top 2 battle for the top spot. Little slide from Ben Ryan out of turn number 2 that time. That's going to give the spot to Deegan Smith. Meanwhile, back behind him for the 5th spot, Brett Robinson to the inside of Tyler Barnes. Barnes in the 33. There was contact off of 4 that time, but looks like the 5 machine able to back down. You want to be aggressive early on and try to gain as much track position as you can, but you also don't want to slide the tires and get a certain tire hot. Everybody trying to be as conservative as they can with their passes because they know there's still a long way to go, only 12 laps in. Hyman Castle moves by Max Hanley right there. That's for the 14th spot on the racetrack. Sorry, 15th spot. As out front, Deegan Smith holds the race lead. And this is going to be a race where we're going to have to keep an eye on the lap times all race long because some drivers are going to start to fall off. I don't think they can go the entire distance on fuel, but I could be wrong. Anthony Danza, your fast qualifier. A little bit of nose damage on that front end. Running in the 9th spot right now. But got a little bit of a piece of that first incident. Everybody's settling down now. We're 15 laps in. One thing about USA is when they do start to get green flag laps underway, they do keep going green. A lot of green flag runs at the USA International Speedway on iRacing. These drivers have to get into a rhythm the best that they can. We'll look at the lap times that last time around. Fastest driver on the racetrack, Ryman Castle, in the 14th spot. Won the last chance qualifier. Now has to make up all of that track position to try and gain his way back. Smith, your race leader, only has about a 1 car length advantage over Ben Ryan down the back straightaway as we look from a little bit further back at how far apart our top 5 is. You've got a big gap over Brett Robinson, who runs in the 6th spot. Eric White and that 6 machine slowly creeping up on the back bumper of Preston Boers. You can see him driving up off the corner, being very patient in the throttle. And that's going to be the key tonight. Keeping the car rotated, but also being very patient in the throttle up off the corner. You don't want to slide the rears and lose your drive off. As this time by 20 laps down. 105 laps to go. A long race here at the USA International Speedway. 125 laps doesn't seem like that long, but USA, it is a long time. These drivers are going to have to push their cars to the test, but also maintain them the entire time. Going to be 2 totally different things as you see Deegan Smith in the 15 starting to feel a little pressure from the 67 of Ben Ryan. Smith pulls ahead off of 4 that time. Ryan gets close on the center of the corner. I think the 15 machine pulls ahead on the exit, but Ben Ryan definitely starting to close that gap up through the center of the corner. Closing in on 100 laps to go. Your top 5 have still broken away from Brett Robinson, who runs with Trey Bragg and Peyton Hamlet right there in the 6th and 7th position. This time by 25 in, 100 to go for Deegan Smith, who has led since that last restart. But the 67 of Ben Ryan has not given him a chance to really breathe. He's been within this 1 car length distance the entire time. You can see him close the gap right there on the entry. The 15 of Deegan Smith that time actually clipped the apron a little bit, lost some of the drive off. See that little bump as soon as he hit the apron, started to lose some time. And it's little moments like that that can lose you time and break you out of your rhythm and lose positions, as now we've got a caution on the racetrack. Eddie Dabrowski around in the 29 machine. Caution flag flies for the 2nd time. Don't really see too much damage, maybe some on the left front, but he's going to bring it pit side. Dabrowski in the 29. Look at what happened. Was running in the 14th spot behind Ryman Castle. Oh, just looked like lost it out of 2. And did not hit the wall. I'm not sure. Yeah, didn't hit the wall. Just lost the back end out of turn number 2 that time. Go on board and see what he saw. Yeah, and you can hear it as he got in the throttle. That car came around. He did have a lot of wheel in that machine. And as soon as he got too much gas, it went right around on him. Now the caution flag is out for the 2nd time here tonight. Deegan Smith continues to hold the race lead. Ben Ryan in the 2nd spot. Eric White 3rd. Tyler Barnes 4th. Brett Robinson 5th. As Preston Moores, this caution flag came to pit road. Likely just for maybe a splash of fuel. Trying to change the balance of that race car around. This time by, it will be 30 laps in. And we'll see how they fire off on this restart. Deegan Smith got a good jump on the last restart, had a lot of short run speed. But can he do it again? Going to have to fire off from the bottom lane this time. Can Ben Ryan get a good jump as well? A long straightaway here really gives you a long time to even that gap out if you don't get as good of a start as the guy next to you. But we'll see what happens here. Bring him back through the restart zone. Good launch from Smith on the bottom. He will be clear out front. And we're green back down into 1. Eric White going to take the second spot away from Ben Ryan. Here comes Brett Robinson as well, but look at the run Ryan got that time out of 2. Not quite done with Eric White for P2. Ben Ryan on the outside lane, fighting for the second spot, trying to hold off Eric White, and I think he's going to do so that time, clear into 3. Move Ben Ryan back into second. Watch Brett Robinson right there fighting for 4th. 5 Machine slowly working his way forward. .35 laps in this time. Deegan Smith continues to hold the race lead. He's got Ben Ryan right there on the back bumper, though. Ryan in that second position as we've got a caution flag. Travis right around in the 10 machine. Facing the wrong way in turns 1 and 2. Let's see what happened there. That was just outside of the top 10, I think. He was in front of Ryman Castle in the 87. Oh, and just into the back bumper went Ryman Castle. I think just did not expect Wright to check up so early. Go on board with Ryman Castle and see what he saw there. Yeah, you could see the 87 was still wanting to drive a little bit deeper into the corner. And now back under caution once again. Quick caution there. Third caution flag of the night. Now Deegan Smith going to come to pit road in the 15. Likely to grab some fuel and maybe make a brake bias adjustment. They can't get tires, so not getting tires on pit road, just trying to play with the strategy a little bit. Long race here at USA. Under 100 laps to go, so now track position does start to become important. As you've seen, it is a little bit tough to pass. And that will hand the race lead back to Ben Ryan, who started up front after the invert of 8. Ben Ryan up front, going to have Eric White to his outside. Tyler Barnes in third. Brett Robinson right there in the 4th spot. Watch out for that 5 machine. He's been quick all night long. This time by, they will double it back up. Ben Ryan on the inside, Eric White up top. Inside lane has definitely been better on the starts here, but if you're that driver in second, you can get a good run on that outside lane and try to slingshot him down the back straightaway. We'll see what Eric White can do starting second on this restart. Pace car drops back to the bottom side. Nice and early jump that time from Ben Ryan, but here comes Eric White. Big launch from Eric White on the outside. He's going to lead down into turns 1 and 2. Brett Robinson as well in the 5 machine got a giant launch down the back. Here they go into turns 3 and 4. Brett Robinson thought about taking it 3 wide right there. Had to think better of it and back out. As your top 2 battle across the stripe that time. Leader at the line. Just barely give it to Eric White on that outside lane. That time out of 2. White a little bit sideways down the back straightaway. Ben Ryan in the 67 trying to hold the inside lane. I think White is a little bit better in 3 and 4. Ryan's a little bit better in 1 and 2. But Eric White, each straightaway, able to get that run up off the corner. And that's what's giving him the advantage right now, is he's holding Ben Ryan down to the bottom, not allowing him to drive up off the corner the way that he would normally do so. That time, Ben Ryan does peek out in front and take the race lead, slides up a little bit in turns 1 and 2 to try and take the lane away from Eric White. And he will do so. New leader in turn number 3. Give it to Ben Ryan. White rides in the 2nd spot. Brett Robinson a little bit further back in the 3rd position right now. Saw that battle up in front of him. Did not want to get too heavily involved. He knows there's a long time left in this race. He does not want to put unnecessary wear in those tires. We look a couple spots back behind him. That's Cooper Ward, who got into the back bumper of Anthony Danta, and then back behind him, Preston Bores. Peyton Hamlet go around. That's Corey Rogers stopped right there as well. And another caution flag here. 46 laps in. A couple cars going for the spin cycle down in turns 1 and 2. We'll see what happened here. Started up in front of him. You can see Cooper Ward get in the back bumper of Danta, and then everybody checks up back behind him. Preston Bores goes around. Peyton Hamlet goes around. Max Hanley had to stop right there as well. Several cars collected in that one. Caution flag back out here. Eric White down pit road in the 6 machine. They're definitely fuel stops. But the question is, do you fill it up or do you just top it off to get to the finish? I think you probably fill it up, and if I could afford it later in the race, I'd probably want to come back down and put more fuel in it to try to get that car just a little bit more rotation in the rear. So Ben Ryan, your race leader, going to have Brett Robinson to his outside now. 5 machine has not quite gone up and fought for that race lead just yet. He's been patiently waiting in the top 5. Now going to have a shot at the race lead, starting in the 2nd position on this restart. We'll see what he can do. Trey Craig going to be starting 4th. That's been the money spot these past couple restarts if the car in 3rd doesn't get the best jump. We'll see what happens this time as we send them back green. Next time around, lights off in the iRacing.com pace car. Field works its way down into turns 3 and 4. And Ben Ryan gonna get a good launch through the restart zone. Brett Robinson, though, on that outside lane also gets a good launch. Trey Craig right there in the 15. Watch him in the 3rd spot. Down through turns 1 and 2. Brett Robinson in the 5, gonna try to take that top spot away. He leads down into turn number 3, but can he hold it on the top lane? Through turns 3 and 4 that time, the 5 of Brett Robinson gonna take the lead across the stripe, 52 laps in. The 67 of Ben Ryan right there on the bottom, trying to hold his ground, but new leader into 3. Give it to Brett Robinson. He's clear for that top spot. Now a little bit further back behind. Ryman Castle trying to work his way back forward. Gets around Deegan Smith in the 15. Corey Rogers in the 17 also trying to get around Smith right there down into turn number 3. You can see the 15 has some damage on the front bumper of that race car. Likely affecting a lot of the speed he had earlier on. Into the wall is the 15. He'll lose a couple spots, and you can see he has fallen to the back in a hurry. Eric White going to go by in the 6 as well. These cars very sensitive to damage in specific areas. The front of that nose, if you hurt it in any way, shape, or form, it's gonna push and make the car a nightmare to drive. You can see Smith struggling getting that race car to turn up off the corner on that outside lane. Preston Boers down to the bottom. He'll take that spot away. Anthony Danta trying to move back forward as well. He was our fast qualifier here tonight. Currently running in the 13th spot. He's got a long way to go if he wants to get back up to his qualifying position. We look back up front. Brett Robinson continues to hold the race lead over Ben Ryan by only a car length or so down the back straightaway. Trey Craig is right there as well, along with Tyler Barnes. Your top 4 not separated by much. As contact for 3rd, Tyler Barnes, Trey Craig, and Cole Williams going to get collected, and they're going to go around. Couple cars turned around out of turn number 2. Cole Williams in the 46. Tyler Barnes in the 33. Caution flag flies for the 5th time here tonight. Couple cars going for a spin off of turn number 2. You saw the contact going into the corner. Tyler Barnes drove to the inside of the 15. It looked like the 15 came down right there, and then as the 33 was trying to get it collected, the 46 of Williams had nowhere else to go, got into the back bumper, and they both shot up across the track. A couple other cars also collected in that one. We'll go on board with Ryman Castle. Just a couple spots back from where it all happened. You can see the initial contact there. They all start to check up. He goes up to the top of the racetrack, just barely tags the wall there. But Cole Williams back down pit road. Just got that car pretty much repaired too. Tough break for the 46. Gonna have to restart on pit road. Fixing damage in iRacing is one of the Fixing damage in iRacing is probably one of the most frustrating things because a lot of times you spend a long time getting damage fixed, and then you get damage again. Just sometimes how it tends to go. I've had it happen to me in the last week. So I definitely understand the position Cole's in. Gonna go a lap down under this pit cycle here, I do believe. We currently have 17 cars, make it 18 cars on the lead lap. But Cole Williams going to go one lap down. He will be in position for the lucky dog, though, as Eddie Dabrowski many laps down out of this one in the 20th spot. Field getting ready to go back green here. Brett Robinson in the 5 going to lead Ben Ryan, Trey Craig, and Cooper Ward in the 469 to the green. Good launch that time from Brett Robinson. Well timed from Trey Craig. Craig going to slip into the second spot down into turns 1 and 2. That 15 shot out of a cannon behind the number 5. And now Trey Craig going to take that second spot. Battle for 5th. Austin Carter down low. Ryman Castle up top. Castle trying to get back up into the top 5, way up the racetrack there. 2 of Carter going to go by, and now Corey Rogers going to try to battle right there as well. A lot of action here on these restarts. A lot of people wanting to move forward quickly because things do get spread out pretty quickly here at USA, as we've seen a couple of times so far in these early runs. As Brett Robinson now having to hold off Trey Craig and Ben Ryan, both of them right there on his back bumper. Now Ryan looks to the inside of Trey Craig. Craig going to use that run on the top side to his advantage. Hold him off on the straightaway. As this battle for the 6th spot continues to heat up. Ryman Castle not quite giving up on the outside lane. As I say that, finds a place back down in the line in front of Eric White. Castle back to the 7th position. Gonna have to try to work his way back forward. Tough here on the outside lane on the restarts. You don't have the advantage initially. It can be tough to drive around somebody's outside. This time by lap 70 up on the board. We're past the halfway point. But it's starting to become crunch time here in this one. Brett Robinson, your race leader, out in front. Here comes Eric White to the inside of Ryman Castle. White way up the racetrack that time. And it pushed Castle up out of the way. And that'll open up the door for Anthony Danta as well. Danta going to try to follow. That's for the 8th position. Anthony Danta going to take that away. Here comes Travis Wright underneath Ryman Castle as well. And oh, contact! Travis Wright into the outside wall. Ryman Castle collected as well. And you saw the contact there. It looked like the 87 machine looked to left on the straightaway. I didn't quite get the best look at it there, but we'll have to look at it one more time. straightaway. Oh, and yeah, you see the 87 machine came down across the track. Was not happy with the way he was being raced by the 10 there. And Wright with significant damage after that one. We'll watch it one more time. This is on board with Castle in the 87. I'm not sure if he got hooked from behind. I don't know. The steering wheel didn't really pull to the left. Try and watch it from behind right here. No contact from behind. I don't know. You guys can be the judges at home. With the 10 machine around in turns 1 and 2. Big one there. That'll reset things up at the front. Brett Robinson's lead that he had now gone. Gonna have to do another restart here. And we'll see what Trey Craig can do in that outside lane. He shot out of a cannon on that last restart. Field gets the 1-to-go signal that time. They'll double up. We're ready to send them back racing here. 50 laps to go. 50 laps remain here in the season opener. Brett Robinson going to get a nice launch that time off of turn number 4. Trey Craig going to try to go right with him. He will be clear for second. And Robinson will take the lead down the back straightaway. Ben Ryan, Cooper Ward side by side for 4th. Looks like Ward going to tuck back in line behind him. Eric White, Corey Rogers side by side back behind. Final spot in the top 5 up for grabs right there as you see Austin Carter make a big move to the bottom. He sees Corey Rogers right behind him, knows that he's got a big head of steam. Anthony Danta, your fast qualifier to the outside of Eric White. He's going to make the pass right there. That's for the 7th spot. Danta trying to move his way back forward. He's not quite done yet. Back behind, Peyton Hamlet. That's for the 10th spot underneath Tyler Barnes. Barnes up top, Hamlet on the inside. And passing has been tough tonight because it's just hard to get that car rotated on the inside lane enough to drive up off the corner, but you see the 98 trying to roll it slow on the inside and make that pass. Contact there. Hamlet having to lean on that 33 just a little bit through 1 and 2. It looks like the 33 going to take that spot. Tyler Barnes going to hold off Peyton Hamlet for the 10th position. That outside lane starting to come into play here later in the race. Up front, your top 3 all nose to tail. Craig Craig right there in the second spot behind Brett Robinson. Craig in the 15 getting a good run. Starting to put a little pressure on Brett Robinson for that top spot. But Ben Ryan in that 67 machine, he's been fast all night long. And definitely been one of the cars to watch as we've gotten later into the race. Anthony Danta gets around Austin Carter. Corey Rogers also got around just for the 5th spot. Carter back to the 7th position. This time by, it'll be 85 laps down for Brett Robinson. Holds the race lead by just 2 car lengths out in front of Trey Craig. He's starting to get some breathing room, though. You see Craig start to feel the pressure from Ben Ryan. Craig in that 115, getting a good run up off the corner, and that's what's allowing him to hold off Ben Ryan for that 2nd spot. Like I mentioned in qualifying, if you can get a big diamond up off the corner, get the straight run up off, you can make it work. As Trey Craig closes that gap, he doesn't let Brett Robinson get too far out. Only a car length separating the two. Really close that time on the exit of turn number 2. I think Robinson able to work the exit a little bit better. The 15 definitely looks like he's got a little bit more rotation in the center of the corner. Ben Ryan in the 67 running in the 3rd spot. All over the back bumper of Trey Craig. Wants to take that spot away, that 2nd position. Just unable to peek to the inside just yet. And you can see when Craig slows down a little bit, loses some time, that 67 machine is all over the back bumper, ready to pounce. Brett Robinson opens the gap back up. 45 laps to go this time. Or 35 to go, rather. Math wasn't mathing there. But Brett Robinson out front. Over half a second advantage now. Starting to open up that gap. Trey Craig holds that 2nd position in the 115. Ben Ryan runs 3rd, Cooper Ward 4th, Corey Rogers rounds out the top 5. We've got 15 cars on the lead lap. Looking at the lap times that last time around, Trey Craig just a little bit quicker than Brett Robinson, able to close that gap up. Fastest car on the racetrack was actually Eric White back in the 8th spot. Needs a little bit more track position to get up to the front. Trey Craig fastest that time. Oh, and caution flag flies. Deegan Smith around in the 15. That will put us back under yellow. 7th caution flag with 30 laps to go. And that should set things up for an exciting finish at the end here. Preston Boers in the 29 was battling with the 15, and I think the 15 got into the wall down the back straightaway there. And came to a stop. That brought out the caution flag. Try and go on board with the 15. He got the wall right as this happened. And right there, and then you got the boot from Preston Boers back behind. Hard hit on the right front tire. That puts us under yellow for a 7th time here tonight. Egan Smith down pit road. A lot of damage on the front end of that race car. Brett Robinson, though, controls this race with under 30 laps to go. Trey Craig second, Ben Ryan third. They're going to be re-racked and restacked here, though. If Robinson can get a good launch, it's going to be tough for Trey Craig to get back to the back bumper. Looks like the field will double up this time by. Lights drop on the iRacing.com pace car. We'll send them back this time by. Just about 25 laps to go. I think it'll be 27. Let's see what happens here as the pace car leads the field down the back straightaway. And pace car is off. Trey Craig tried to guess it there in the 15 machine. That's going to open up the door for Ben Ryan. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Good launch from Brett Robinson in the 5. He's going to be clear out in front of Trey Craig and Ben Ryan, who battled for the 2nd spot. Craig into the outside wall down the back straightaway. That opens up the door for Ben Ryan to the bottom. Ryan on the inside lane, a little bit loose off of 4, but I think he's going to be able to take that 2nd spot down into turns 1 and 2. New driver in 2nd, that's Ben Ryan in the 67 machine. Can he track down your race leader, Brett Robinson? 24 laps to go this time for the number 5 machine. Trying to cap it off. He's led the majority of the second half of this race. Anthony Danta, Corey Rogers battling for the 5th spot. I think there was contact right there off of 4. Hamlet, Eric White. Hamlet on the outside lane trying to hold off White on the inside. That outside lane, like I mentioned earlier, definitely coming in the second half of this race, but only for a couple laps. You have to keep the tires cool when you're on that outside lane because you can burn them up and start to fall backwards. Luckily, Hamlet able to get down in front of Eric White. Will take that spot away. Because now we have 20 laps to go when Brett Robinson gets back around. Final 20 laps here at USA. Danta to the inside of Corey Rogers. That's for the 5th spot. Fast qualifier. Trying to put something together here late. 19 to go across the stripe that time. As Rogers going to look back to the bottom side. Little rub on the door right there. Anthony Danta down the back straightaway, though, able to hold him off on that outside lane. Watch out for this 51 car if we get a caution flag here late. He's moving up through the field into the top 5. It looks like most of the damage on the right front of that race car has been fixed up. Your race leader, Brett Robinson, has a half a second advantage over Ben Ryan, who runs in the 2nd position. They are all over Trey Craig for the 3rd spot. Cooper Ward right there behind the 15. $15 to go this time for Brett Robinson. He's been running a little bit quicker than Ben Ryan in the 2nd spot back behind him. I think just getting better exits off the corners, and that has been the kicker. But we'll see. There's still plenty of time left. The gap only half a second. There is still time for Ben Ryan to put a couple laps together here and make something happen. We're watching the battle for the 3rd spot. Anthony Danta on the back bumper of Cooper Ward. Wants to take that 4th spot away. I think Danta knows that he's got a lot of speed left. He's just running out of time to use it. Keep an eye on that gap for the race lead. Last couple laps, Ben Ryan's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. He's starting to put a challenge up for that race lead. He's got 10 laps to go this time. 10 to go for Brett Robinson, trying to hang on for the race win in the first race of the season. He's going to have to hold off Ben Ryan, who's starting to put some laps together here. Up front, Robinson's lead. You can see it right there, about 5 car lengths down into turns 1 and 2. We have 8 laps to go. Time is running out for Ben Ryan. And the laps that I'm seeing right now, he's not going to have enough to get there without something happening, and there is something happening. Rubble in turn number 4, I believe. I didn't quite see what had happened. Let's watch here. I think it was actually up in front. Watch right here. Oh, and I think the 29 machine slid, and the caution flag flew right there. You saw the 98 of Peyton Hamlet get into the back bumper of Preston Boers. Send him for a slide, and the caution flag flew. And we're going to have a race to the finish here. I don't think it'll be a green-white checkered. I think we'll send them back with about 3 laps to go. 3 or 4 laps to go. I think it'll be 3 laps to go, as we've got 5 to go right there. They should be getting the 2 to go signal. But an 8th caution flag here late in this one. Gonna shake things up. And Brett Robinson, hold on. He's led the entire way up to this point in the second half. We'll see what he can do here. Ben Ryan going to have a good shot at this one, I think, if he can get a good launch. And it looks like we will be getting a green-white checkered here. So lights still on the iRacing.com pace car. It'll be green-white checkered time. Field will double up this time. It will be 2 laps to go. 2 final laps for Brett Robinson if he can hang on. Lights off in the iRacing.com pace car. Try and send them back. We'll see if we can get it done in this first attempt. Work their way down into turns 3 and 4. Pace car is off. And it'll be Brett Robinson, Ben Ryan back through the restart zone, and we're back underway. 2 laps to go here at USA. Down into turns 1 and 2. Brett Robinson gets a good launch down the back straightaway. He's going to be clear for the race lead. Back behind him for third. Here comes Anthony Danta. Through turns 3 and 4, coming to the white flag this time. Final lap here at USA. White flag is out, final time around. Down the back straightaway, Brett Robinson leads by a car length over Trey Craig. And down into turn number 3, big send from the 15 of Craig, but it's not going to be enough. Brett Robinson is going to lead the field out of turn number 4, and he will win USA 125 in the season opener. The All-Pro Sim Series Super Late Models. And what a race that was. We're going to grab a quick word from our race winner, Brett Robinson. You can see Brett Robinson burning it down here on the front straightaway. Let's look at our results. Results up on screen for you guys now. Brett Robinson, your winner. Trey Craig comes home in the second spot. Anthony Danta third. Cooper Ward comes home fourth. Ben Ryan fifth. Preston Boers sixth. Eric White seventh. Max Hanley comes home eighth. Corey Rogers ninth. Austin Carter comes home 10th. Peyton Hamlet 11th. Tyler Barnes comes home 12th. Brian Conover comes home 13th. Final car on the lead lap. Bo Williams 14th. Deacon Smith 15th. Michael Berner 16th. Ryman Castle 17th. Nick Rogers 18th. Travis Wright 19th. Eddie Dabrowski That's your top 20. We're going to grab a word from our top 2. See him up in the voice chat. First, we'll talk to Trey Craig. See if we can't get him up into the broadcast booth. Trey Craig up into the broadcast booth. Second place finisher here tonight after a chaotic one here at the USA International Speedway. Tell me about your race.
We joined practice late, and I really thought that we was kind of crap in practice, and we went out and qualified and put a decent lap up, and I just kind of, after the invert, we kind of started really close to Brett there, and I just told Brett I was going to follow him as long as possible, and we ended up working our way to the front pretty easily with trying to ride, but I do think that I might have burnt my stuff up a little too much trying to ride with him, and just didn't have enough for him at the end.
Yeah, it was going to come down to the restart games and the restart game and track position for sure. Looked like you guys had the 2 cars to beat, just like you said, not quite enough there to get by him at the end, but still a solid run to kick off the season for you. Who do you have to thank for a second place run?
Yeah, well, I really got to thank Cole Williams for actually, inviting me to this league, and all my guys, all the sponsors are all these things, and everybody that's in the broadcast and everybody that puts this on, and everybody that's in the league, and just everybody makes this happen.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Trey, on a second place run here this evening. Chaotic one here at USA. Hopefully we can get some better racing next week, but good luck to you throughout the rest of the season.
I appreciate it very much, buddy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, now we'll talk to our winner here tonight. We'll see if we can't grab him up in the broadcast booth. Winner here tonight, Brett Robinson, in the broadcast booth, led pretty much the entire second half of that race. Lingered in the back half of the top 5 in the beginning there, and I knew that you had a lot of speed. Just were waiting to show it, and then right when I think everybody kind of pit on alternate strategies there, you stayed out, and ultimately you're in victory lane. How was your race?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really appreciate everybody putting this on. Like you said, the first bit of the race, I was just saving tires and trying to drop in line when I could, and just kind of let them go. Kind of just came to me. Everything, as you said, came to us as far as strategy and whatnot. Some of them went down pit road, picked off some, and then got to the front row and was able to get to the lead and control the race from there.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to manage the tires. You guys didn't have a set of tires, so a lot easier to manage the tires when you're the guy out front that can set the pace, that can control what everybody's doing, and ultimately I think that's what got you the victory here tonight. You were just able to hold off Trey and Ben there in those final couple charges, but great race here tonight. Victory in week number 1. Who do you have to thank for a finish like this?
Yeah, just appreciate the boys, Trey Craig, Cole Williams, Peyton, everybody else that was in here, all the people that put it together. It was really fun, and let's go to round 2.
Yeah, round 2 is going to be a pretty fun one. I'll be excited to maybe I'll race in that one. Who knows what'll happen? I'm not broadcasting every race of the season, so I might have to have a little bit of fun. Maybe come show you guys how it's done. But
yeah, let's do it.
I think it'll have to be fun. Me and you've had some pretty good races in super late models, so I'm sure we could put on a show next week. But nonetheless, congratulations to you, Brett, on your victory here tonight, and like you said, good
I
luck to
appreciate
you
it.
in round 2.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was Brett Robinson. Like I said, we've raced quite a bit here on iRacing, and I knew that 5 Machine was going to be quick here tonight, and he ended up taking the victory. So thank you guys for tuning in to the All-Pro Sim Racing League for the season opener here tonight. Long race here at the USA International Speedway, but thank you guys for sticking it out. If you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button for more iRacing content, and we'll see you guys back here soon with some Leave the Pack content coming soon. ARCA series coming up, and I'll probably do some iRacing streams here in week 13. Still some time, so look forward to that. But until next time, I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. Peace out.